Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys? How's everyone doing? Can everyone hear me? And can you see the Bitcoin chart? Is the music not too loud? Let's start with that. Don't expect anything crazy, by the way, from this stream. It's just a live stream, a chill stream. Watching how this unfolds, you know. I still think we squeeze to the upside. And if we don't, just the way this is acting, I think if we spike lower, it will be short-lived and followed by a squeeze. So if I get stopped here, I might even re-long the sweep. And if that doesn't work out, well, then fuck it, then I'm wrong. Hello, hello. Corky, up, down, left or right? Good morning. Well, it's evening here. Hello, Armo, Koala Mark, Powell. All good, loud and clear. Perfect. Spit at Alpha. Echo, yeah, that's possible. It's just a room, I think. Hello, hello. Irregular Wolfpack. Reef Rider. Greg. High block says 0. Greetings, Coin Rotator. Lots of people here. How are you guys positioned? Long, short, flat, spot long? Bullish CVD absorption. Do you use CVD? Nope, I don't. Long, flat, leveraged long on that wick. Spot long, flat, waiting for lower. Same setup, lower SL. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to put a lower SL as well, because indeed I could see a sweep of the low as well, but I thought it would squeeze from higher up, from above Monday low. And on top of that, I'm not targeting anything higher than Monday high, to be honest. My first target even is up here. And I'll definitely take some off if we get there. So yeah, if I had a wider stop, look at the risk rewards, it wasn't really worth it. So like this it is, in my opinion. But yeah. Nervous market, spot long, break even shorts from higher. Nice, man. Stopped on all my longs. Short on Jasmine. That's sad. Short a bunch of alts from higher, long some Bitcoin and ETH and Sol here. Always spot long Bitcoin ETH. Nice, yeah, that's nice. Alts look truly fucked, to be honest. So yeah, I get why you're holding shorts on alts. Spot long, scalping Pepe, made 8k so far. Nice, man. Well done. We'll probably get wrecked later. Hey, keep those profits, man. Set some aside. Did you just start using these high block liquidation levels? Now I've been using them for a long time, to be honest. But in moves like these, right? In moves like these, those liquidation levels, they're way less effective than when you have markets that are ranging like this or like this. So in up moves like this, I just use them less, and I haven't back then. Well, I had not checked the liquidation levels for a long time, and then I found out my yearly subscription was was, how do you say it, over the limit. So I had to renew it. So I just renewed, but I've been using them for a long time, for years. So I've been using them for a long time, and now recently just started to reusing them again. Because in market environments like this, where it's just ping pong games, they can be very effective to day trade Bitcoin. I'm position broke. Nice. Always spot. Waiting for micro market structure break confirmation to enter the long. Nice. Yeah, I get that. Almost 4 hour close here in 13 minutes. So let's see what we can do here. On the daily, this is starting to look like accumulation. Check the volume on all dips to the low 27k. Possibly. I'm in a long. Nice. Hello, sunset. Isn't just hugging Monday low, not the kind of reaction which shows strength. Yeah, I'll give my reasoning again in a second. Yeah, expired, exactly. That was the word I was looking for. You don't touch meme coins? Nah, not really. I only touch coins that are on Bybit and on Binance. Trizzy, what's up? Good to see you, man. Bitmax rolling liquus Cuban. Real ones, no. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. I still think squeeze higher is more likely than a clean breakdown and a rollover, but obviously anything's possible. So indeed, what I use a lot to kind of give me my bias, obviously the high time frame. And when you look at this, right, support is support until proven otherwise. And price has bounced in this area for a couple times, and I've talked about it in the previous live as well. Whenever you have the pattern where you get bounces in a certain area, so a bounce, then another bounce, lower high, another bounce, lower high. It's always at those lows that the bears get loud and the people start shouting out 12k targets, right? And what happens then? Boom, squeeze higher. They're quiet again, price dumps into the level again. Boom, they're targeting 12k, shorting the lows. Boom, squeeze. Okay, and yes, this pattern can be bearish and can ultimately break down, but you're gonna get wrecked if you constantly short support, anticipating the breakdown, right? I saw people shorting into the lows who had a drawing like this, right? And then said that was a confirmation, but they're shorting here. Like, that doesn't make sense. Then at least wait for the breakdown and short a retest. So that's how I see it. That's why I still think that a squeeze higher here is likely. And what I really like is the high block liquidation levels. As you can see, big red delta. It's only getting bigger. And we took some liquidation levels to the downside now. So in my opinion, the draw on liquidity is to the upside locally. But yeah, as I said, I'm targeting up here and then Monday high and nothing more, you know. This is just a bounce play for me. I might even look for shorts there. I do also think ultimately that we will be trading down towards 25k or 26k. For how long, I don't know, but you saw my high time frame plan is still the higher low, the macro higher low being somewhere in between 24, 26, okay? And then from there, ideally bullish price action or a sweep, you know, reclaim, and then long it to new highs. But when does the breakdown come? Nobody knows. So is it from here? Possibly. Like, anything's possible, but this was a valid trade for me from up here. Didn't expect that we would see this this downside, and we broke below Monday low. But I want to give it some time, at least until the 4-hour close, and then see where we're at. But I'm most likely holding until stop or profit, because invalidation is clean, you know. And as I said, even then, even if this gets taken, I wouldn't be surprised if we do something like this where we spike down and then still see the squeeze higher. And then potentially, so do something like this, squeeze higher, back into supply. Everyone's like, we swept the lows, getting bullish into resistance, and then the real dump, like lower into 25k. And then we probably spend a lot of time down here, ranging again, boring chop market, sweep some lows, and then ultimately go for new highs. But yeah, things will take time, you know. It's unlikely that Bitcoin does this and then straight to new highs. Like what it does then is it wants to trap as many people down here as possible and give the bigger ones the time to accumulate longs before they send it higher. Make sense? I'm just like ramping shit like, sorry if it's not organized or anything, but just trying to give you my view. 26.5 then bounce. This only gonna happen on 26.5. Too many people shorting then. The move from yesterday, you see that as a market structure break, right? Should have made a third higher low in my opinion, if bullish. I was bullish before that move. So you see this as the market structure break to the downside? I don't know. I see this as a sweep and close back inside, which is why I thought we wouldn't see much downside before taking those highs again. And I still think that's the case, that there's a shitload of liquidity resting above these highs. Also, it was once again news driven. Like, ooh, coins are moving, let's nuke it. Sweep the lows. I think there's a shitload of stops resting there. Go to the weekly, we had a higher low at 26.9. Oh, like this, yeah. You mean this higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, lower high, lower low, right? Yeah, I get that, but that was exactly the same here. Lower high and then boom. So why not do the same? I mean, market structure for me is a very difficult topic. I don't really believe in market structure. Well, yeah, how do I say this? It can be very misleading market structure. I don't really use it, to be honest. Well, that's a sweep, yeah. Then why is this not a sweep? If this is a sweep, this can be a sweep as well, right? We never closed the weekly, so if the weekly closes down here, maybe, yeah, we get lower. But yeah, market structure is a difficult topic. And I think context and general supply, demand, and key highs and key lows are way more important than market structure. Hello, could you explain, are there any criteria for determining that a level is reclaimed? How do you determine for yourself that now the price has reclaimed the level or not? Well, the way I trade is usually just enter on the sweep and not on the reclaim. So what I want to see is a key low, for example, a key low, and then I want to see here demand resting and ideally some key levels, you know. So there's confluence below the low. Then I want to see highs being built up here, a sweep of the low, and then I'll just market long here with invalidation below the area here of confluence. Okay, so then you have your invalidation, you just enter, and you know if it dumps further, well then I'm wrong. And target former highs. What is a reclaim of a level? Indeed, it is difficult. So why bother? I do use the time frame I use it the most on is probably the daily and the weekly. Like if you see, that's for example the weekly range that I've been watching. Hold on. For example, here, right? Down here, this was our range low, right? What did we say? I want to see a weekly close, right? Back inside the range. And if we do so, I'll be bullish targeting range high. And what happened? We closed inside, instant continuation, then some sweeps, obviously. But as you can see, that gave you all you needed to know. I even did it on the daily. You could argue like we closed inside here as well, but you want to see it hold, you know. If it's a close inside and then instantly snap back down and close below, that's not a good sign. But here, massive close back inside and instant continuation to the upside. It's also why I said if we break above this weekly range mean from here, I'll be targeting range high. Massive close above, dips in my opinion are for buying until range high. That's also why I said I still think there's a good chance we revisit this 24, 25, 26k area, but that's a dip you want to be buying in my opinion as a higher low on the high time frames and target range highs. So that's how I use reclaims mostly. Then if the weekly closes back below the level, right, that wouldn't be a good sign. So then your bias flips again to selling rips back down towards the lows. But yeah, you're right, on the lower time frames it's difficult. What is a reclaim? What is market structure? And it doesn't really matter. You don't really need to know. It's more about the context and about confluence around levels. If someone with big pocket size max bids, Binance max allow position size is rip market structure. From where did you learn all this? Oof, I've learned from many places. And experience, also a big factor. Just watching the chart hours and hours a day. And then you kind of get the gut feeling, you know, and that's something so underrated, people don't get. You can't study gut feeling. It's just something that comes with experience, with with just being obsessed with watching charts. But yeah, learning from the bigger names obviously is the first step. 4 hour closed. That's not a bad close in my opinion. But yeah, you want to see, probably first make the wick to the downside, and then hopefully we see some continuation to the upside. We'll see. So maybe something like this on the lower time frames. Let's remove this. Let's see where the hourly low is. Maybe this or this. And then ideally close strong above Monday low again, and then rip it to all of these highs. Here, here, here into supply. Then it stops up here and then Monday high. We'll see. Or we just nuke. Hello, Macro. Marco, sorry. On this trade, do you use hard SL or you wait for candle close? I never use stops with candle closes. I always set my stop. How is crypto taxed in Belgium? A lot. It's a mess, man. It's not the best place to live if you're a trader. I can tell you that. If you're enjoying the stream, please leave a like, guys. There's 75 people watching. Amazing. Let's get the likes to 50 at least, right? Subscribe if you haven't already. Helps me a lot. Also, thanks to Bybit, by the way, for sponsoring my live streams and my videos. If you'd like to get into the Discord server, simply use the link in the description. You can also get Coin Market Manager for free if you use the link, and up to $30,000 in bonuses, so definitely worth it. Liked, yes. Wish you luck and you're long on Bitcoin. Hey, thanks, man. We'll see. Anything's possible. Risk is managed, as always. Are you currently at long or waiting? Price is awful. I'm long. I'm still in my long. Underwater. If we head for the lows from here, I will likely long again, but small size and wide stop, like below 25.8, 25.7. See these? They're beautiful. honestly. Like these two levels, we've had them for, well, since the end of April. And I marked out those boxes before CPI, right? And I said those were the levels of interest, looking for longs or shorts. Longed into CPI, closed up here. Didn't short, I wanted higher. The risk reward for me wasn't there to short, otherwise I would have shorted. But I wanted to keep my stops above this area. So shorting here and then targeting the lows. As you can see, 0.8 R. That wasn't the kind of trade I wanted to take, so I didn't short. Neither did I long these wicks, but just look at how price reacted when it took those levels. Those are liquidation levels as well, by the way. 25x. Took them and then straight rip up. Even for a bounce play, you know, if you had bids there and there, your average entry would have been in between. Stop. Could have made like 1.6 R. But yeah. And as you can see, we on this 4 hour, guess what? We took another one, and whereas the others resting, there's 100x resting there, right below the wick, and 50x right at 26,400 approximately. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if we head for these first, it's worth looking for another long, in my opinion. Something like this. Stops. Yeah, as I said, 25.7, somewhere around there. And target up there. 2R, that's decent. And high probability. Like, if we take those first, the draw is massively to the upside. Even with, well, still, look at these, where is it? Here. If you're looking at this delta, right? If price nukes from here even further, what's it gonna look like? It's gonna be even bigger. Even more liquidity resting to the upside. So potentially do this and instantly squeeze them all straight back up into here. That's the reason I don't believe we nuke straight to 25k from here. Would make more sense to get one more trap and then, but yeah, who knows? Anything can happen. Let's see. Since when do you trade crypto? For like 6 years now, I think. Did you also trade other things? I traded Forex, commodities and stuff, but mostly crypto. Much harder conditions to trade compared to last few months. Yeah, exactly. That's why I really like high block in these kind of market conditions. Would you give one book to read? Honestly, I don't really read books. I think there's a lot of info to find online. So no, I couldn't. Hope you enjoy your commissions from my size. Thanks for the CMM perk. Hey, thanks for using the link, man. If Bitcoin bounces, when should we start looking at altcoins again? Phew. I just mark out your levels for alts and see where you want to do business and go from there. Binance long-short ratio above 2. Don't you think MMs will soon liquidate those longs? Potentially. Maintain RR is also important. Yeah, combination of risk to reward and probability, right? That's something a lot of people still don't get. Like, you're entering even a 1R trade can be a good trade if the probability is high, super high. Like, why not take it? If you're so confident, I would take trades close to 1R if I'm confident and probability is high. I usually don't, but I usually try to go for 1.5 R at least. But yeah, sub 1R is not the way, in my opinion. There's a big candle coming. Dollar can possibly break to the upside. Possibly, yeah. Possibly being the keyword. You're good at mapping out ranges. Why don't you use order flow to reduce guessing work for entries? I'm like the kind of guy who doesn't like combining too much into analyzing charts, because things can get really messy and can fuck with your mind a lot. Like, highs and lows can tell you it's bullish, liquidity wise can tell you it's bearish, order flow can tell you this, something else can tell you that, you know. And it can be difficult to combine if you're using like 5 or 6 strategies. I like keeping things as simple as possible and just using, yeah, you could argue using it in Confluence, but if they don't all line up, like, it's only gonna mess with your head. So I like keeping things simple. But yeah, never bad, obviously, to learn new stuff, but I never really got attracted to order flow. Market Wizards is a great book about trading and how traders think. I'll note it. The dollar is also just ranging. I posted a daily chart, no, even a weekly chart about it earlier today. See, clean range here, right? Downside, low. The low that caused a decent bounce to the upside, high. Your range is now set, back to the lows. Swept the lows into demand, consolidation that led to the big rally to the upside. So demand, low, swept the low, right? Where's the next draw on liquidity? Range high. So I think the S&P has legs to go higher. And even if that's not a draw, right? You still have these unswept highs as well. So I think at least one more spike, but I think range highs here are coming. And then if we then, for example, do this into this former mid-range lining up with this supply and then break back inside, then we could argue that we're trading back towards range mean and potentially even go for these lows into range low again. But as long as we don't take these, I think this is just ranging before the next leg higher. So I think this consolidation will result in upside. Such a stupid range. Hello, Peter. All good, man. How about you? Let's check Pepe. That's one a lot of people are talking about, right? Let's see the Pepe USDT spot. Yes. What does this look like? Looks exactly like any other shitcoin that had a rally and that's now gonna fully retrace this already. Doesn't it? What was the last one? This one as well. Got hyped a lot. I traded this very well, this one. Back here. And look now, it's just been bleeding. Fake bounce, bear market rally, and then all the way back down. So this probably sees another 30 at least percent dump. I liked this 2 days ago. I said this was one I was watching and I could see a long there. And first it responded pretty nicely because of this range, you know, the lows, the highs and the mid-range, pivotal. Swept lows aggressively, so where was the draw? A little bit at least to the upside. So that's why I was targeting this. I didn't take this trade, but still could. I think this is still one of the better looking alts. OP. How about we all collectively nuke at the same time the BitBoy coin? Sure, let's do it. The Aptos pump was great to trade, to be honest. Every day more shorts kept coming in because it has to die at some point, but eventually always ends the same way. Yeah, exactly. Do you have any thoughts on using funding rates? That's another thing that's difficult and that's misleading, very misleading. Like back in the days, but then I'm speaking like at least 5 years ago, you could literally trade based on funding. You could buy Bitcoin when funding was going negative and you'd have profit the next day, or the other way around. Well, not every time obviously, but you get the point. It was a big factor for me as well in my trading. When funding was negative, I was looking for longs. When it was very positive, mostly for shorts. Well, in general, you know, it's never alone, never only that, but then everyone was like talking about funding and everyone became a funding expert, and then it slowly started just fading away. And now, in my opinion, it's more misleading than anything else. Like, how many times have we seen big negative funding and Bitcoin still nukes to new lows? Or have we seen massive positive funding and Bitcoin just keeps going for new highs? Like, you should have seen the funding on the run up here. Like, what do you think funding was here? As long as the market keeps going up fast enough, the funding doesn't matter. Because then the market going up pays for your longs. It's only when the market starts doing nothing, right, that funding becomes a problem. And that's the same way on the way down. Like when it starts ranging and you get negative funding, then it gets interesting. But as long as it's trending, the trending market pays for your funding. Does that make sense? No? Yes? Funding was 1% in early 21 for a long time and ranging pain. Yeah, exactly. Like, for this trade, for example, funding is just irrelevant. In my opinion, you know, I'm always just giving my opinion. Other people might say other things, but for me, when it comes to funding, it's more like for swings and on the higher time frame. But for day trading, like, funding is irrelevant. I like what it's doing here, to be honest. I think we squeeze. Yeah, I've said it. Nothing changed. Pump it. Trap them. Punish them. Those bears. Another question: how do you find a balance with trading in real life outside of CT? It's quite time consuming, especially if you know a trending day or two is coming up. How do you explain that? Yeah, that's also a difficult one. Well, for me, like 2-3 years ago, I was no, it was like 5-6 years ago when I just started. I was studying still, so I had a lot of time. Well, I was just sitting in my room, didn't go to class, and instead spent all my time on charts. And then I was doing this more than actually studying, what I should have done. But then I dropped out because I wanted to go full-time trading. Then I combined it at first with another job just to be safe. And then when I saw it, it went good. I went full-time trading. But yeah, it's difficult finding a balance between enjoying life, right, with your friends and doing stuff you like and analyzing the charts. But what works for me is just seeing it as a regular job. And in the week, like, wake up early and just work until the evening and then go off. And in the weekends, take some time off as well. I usually never trade in the weekends, and that's honestly one of the best decisions that I've made, is saying I'm never gonna trade in the weekend, because not only because you're then just away from the markets and you're your head is not constantly thinking about it. You're relaxed, you know. But also because in the weekends you very often get very scammy price action, and even more often just nothing happens in the weekend and you have just ranging price action on Bitcoin. So yeah, it's not worth consuming your time trading in the weekend when you can just enjoy life then, you know. So that's pretty much how I do it, I guess. Just setting the 4-hour bottom wick right now. Bears in disbelief. Let's hope so, man. Mama Bear gonna be sad. Would love to learn how you manage emotions and risk when you go in a losing streak. Reduce size. It's simple. That's the reason people get emotional on their trades is because they use too much size, and that's the only reason. If you're not comfortable losing something, you're gonna get emotional, right? So just reduce size, and you could say it's not worth trading then if I'm only gonna risk $20 of my 2K portfolio. Like, fine, but that's how you're gonna learn it. And then when you get things, just slowly size up and you'll get there. And also know when to push the gas pedal, you know. When's the time that you're in a trade and you're like, yeah, this is a good trade. Like, you know, those trades where you're confident and you're like this can't go wrong. Well, those are often the most dangerous trades. But like, if the probability of a trade is high, it's normal that you risk a little bit more. Or high time frame trades, you also risk a little bit more than a 5-minute scalp, you know. But just in general emotions, I would just say risk less. Are your stop losses still 2% average? I've never traded like that. My stop losses are at a point of invalidation and nothing else. Similar story to mine. We'll cut the weekends forever. Yeah, I mean, that's what works for me. Do you hold long-term Bitcoin positions? I have spot, yes. How big capital you need to achieve to start to be full-time trader? What was your story? I guess 100k minimum. Well, to be full-time, I mean, you've got to have a certain portfolio and have a certain how do you call it, a bumper, you know, because there are gonna be months that you're not gonna earn any money, and you've got to be ready for those. If you're gonna like assume that you're gonna make 2k a month trading and you're gonna have 1 month that's not profitable, you're gonna find a new job. No, but I mean, there's no fixed number for that. In my opinion, you'll know when you're ready to go full time. And that's not when you hit like 1 winning streak or something. Like, if you're consistently profitable over a time span of, like, let's say 6 months at least, and let's say you have 50k aside, you could already go for it, in my opinion. So 50k bumper, right, that you set aside, you don't touch, and then you still have your portfolio of, let's say, also it can always also be 50k, 100k, 200k. But most importantly, you need to have a plan for when things go wrong. I always had a plan for when things would go wrong. I always said to myself, if it doesn't work, and it's always possible, what if everything goes to zero, right? For me, the answer on that was, if crypto fails, well, I'll just trade Forex. And what if everything fails, or I'm just not good enough? Well, I always had a B plan. It's also how you should trade, you know? What if this happens? What if I get stopped out? What will I do? What if price does this? Then I will do that. And it's the same in life. Be prepared for anything. Maximal drawdown, 100%. When I just started out, I lost everything a couple times. BitMEX, yeah. Say goodbye to your wife if you want to be a full-time trader. Nah, that's not true. Your hand will be your next wife. Subscribe if you haven't already. Helps me a lot. Leave a like if you haven't already. Well, yeah, I'm asking for maximal drawdown, not at the beginning. Well, it's difficult to say, because if it's drawdown on net worth, it's like nothing. But if it's on my trading portfolio, I don't know. I'd have to check, because it's multiple accounts and it's difficult to say. Trading is a zero-sum game. Take profit, often manage risk, and don't over-leverage. 3 rules I follow. Yeah. Well, don't over-leverage. I hope that means no too big position sizes, because leverage doesn't matter, you know. You need a sugar mommy. Don't have a trading journal. I do. But it's a number I just don't know out of my head. I could look it up, but it's not too bad. Let's see. Boring market, to be honest. Well, glad we got something like this, but I wonder what is average size for you. Size is also different every time, you know. Risking usually 2 to 5% of one account, you know, not of my net worth. But on spot, like, it's way bigger risk. Obviously. Do you hold long-term bags or do you just trade? If so, what do you think about bull runs, halvings? I do hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, some, and very little Litecoin. But Litecoin is like nothing compared to. But I do hold Bitcoin and Ethereum for long-term. Bags I bought at 17k on the reclaim of this, as I explained earlier. That's where I bought spots. And here, 20 on this spike I bought as well. Way too soon, I know. But this entry made it good. And what are my thoughts about bull runs, halvings? I don't know about the halving game, man. I almost feel like it's becoming too easy, you know? Like, do you think if this is the date of the halving? Well, let's do this. If this is the date of the halving, do you really think that price is gonna bottom and then new bull run by the halving? Well, or something like this. I don't know, man. Honestly, I'm ready for never having a real bull run ever again. And some of you might not be happy to hear, but like I said, be ready if it doesn't, if it never happens again. Come on. What if we range in between this and let's say this for the next 10 years or 20 years? It's possible, right? Why do we have to go for new highs within 4 years? We don't. If there's enough people buying, we will. I mean, I don't really care, and I do believe Bitcoin will go to new highs eventually, but I don't know how long it will take. I think the halving could be a massive non-event this time, to be honest. Where we just do this and then nuke all the way back down again and maybe spend years in this range, and then ultimately we might see the breakout to 200k once, yeah, there's maybe bigger companies also stacking Bitcoin and just holding, right? And that will eventually send price higher, but until then, I don't know, will take a lot to get back above 60k, I think. Would you agree? I really like your channel. Clear IDs and clean graphics. For me, very important in this chaotic world. Hey, I appreciate that, man. If a spot position doesn't work out as you'd like it to, do you gradually reduce the size of it or cut the whole bag on some invalidation? Nah, for spot, that was just spot to hold for like 50k, and I don't care how low we go. Stop is at 0 for me on those. Otherwise it's just a swing trade, and then I have an invalidation. People said last cycle. Yeah, the halving thing is too crowded, it seems. I don't know what to make of it. Yeah, exactly. Halving, buy the hype, sell the event. I don't know. Is it gonna be that easy again? I mean, I'd be ready for it. I'd be down. But, nah. Traders shouldn't care, exactly. Why even speculate on the time frame that long? Well, it's nice to speculate about it. And if you want to hold bags for the longer term, it's also important. That's why I will definitely sell some spot if we are at like 40k, at 50k, mid 50ks, right? But obviously always hold some in case we break out. Or just buy back once you get back above a key level that you're watching. This is gonna be a big one, the 60k area in my opinion. A real bull run will only happen when money is free again. Yeah, possibly. What about alts? Just dump them. Yep, dump them all to zero. I'm not a believer of holding alts. I never did, never will. Well, I will, for example, AVAX. I will maybe buy some spot at cheap prices, but then I just see it as a swing trade because of the chart, right? And while on Bitcoin it's more about the FA, the fundamental side of things. While on this it's just like, ooh, this looks bottomy, I'm gonna buy some, but then it's also just to sell on the bounce. This doesn't look too bad, to be honest. If you see what the upside potential is, even back towards here. It's already a 2x. Hello, Adam. It's a coordination game. It will have some sort of impact because it will attempt to pump, and then the pump itself draws people attention. Question if recession caused depressed retail. Do you think ETH can make new highs without Bitcoin doing so? I think it can, yes. ETH Bitcoin is the one you need to look at then, right? And I think this still looks pretty bullish on the higher time frames. It's been raging for years, but once this breaks out, I think this runs hard. But I mean, yeah, anything's possible. We'll see. Right, any more questions? Otherwise, I think I'll hop off. Bitcoin is not doing anything at the moment. Let's see. My plan is clear. Yeah, we could potentially see one more run of the lows, I think. Not ruling out something like this. Boom, and then squeeze higher towards all of these. One more sweep and then rip it. or rip it from here. We'll see, okay? Hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna go off. Leave a like, subscribe. Thanks to Bybit for sponsoring. If you want to join my Discord, just use the link in the description. Deposit some money. We'll get you added. Send me a message, okay? And yeah, we'll do these more often, as always. Take care. Bye.